What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of FORNEVERNEWS! In today's episode, we've got some stories to talk about. In case you're not subscribed, you definitely should. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all notifications so you don't miss out. You could also catch FORNEVER News on all podcast streaming services. Don't miss out. Make sure to tune in. Okay, people, so for starters, we already got a little bit of a teaser preview for the upcoming season of My Hero Academia, Season 6. Toei Animation is teasing a big announcement and some visuals for the upcoming 1000th episode of One Piece. We've got the weekly Shonen magazine author comments. We got the top 50 selling manga volumes of the week alongside the Jump volumes as well. Couple of big pieces of Tokyo Revengers news, in particular regarding the manga, but also something that may be coming that, depending on how it rocks, it could be a very, very good thing. But we gotta wait and see. Couple of big updates for the Cowboy Bebop live action. The controversial live action that every time I talk about it, it's like everybody goes in a frenzy. We're gonna talk about it. An update for the Yashahime Princess Half Demon aka Inuyasha spin-off series. Something really awesome that the author of One Punch Man, Yusuke Murata, did recently that I wanted to talk about because, yeah, One Punch Man, it's definitely starting to feel almost underrated to a certain degree with the lack of hype I see in the community for One Punch Man. An update for a series that's coming to an end. Major announcements for Demon Slayer, in particular, some of which are pretty freaking disappointing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was actually like, what the hell? Like, really? Like, pretty disappointing stuff for Demon Slayer. At the same time, maybe some of it could be good, like, you know, looking at the silver lining, but definitely not what anybody wanted in particular, and definitely yeah, something we gotta talk about because, man, the author of Rainbow, in case you've never seen the Rainbow anime, the author of the Rainbow manga is returning with a new work, and I'm gonna tell you why you should be excited because Rainbow, that was something else. Undead Unluck manga sales are in for the total of what it sold thus far. We got a new Sword Art Online manga that I think some people are going to be interested in. Big, massive update for Jujutsu Kaisen, in particular what the series has sold thus far, but also a big update for the upcoming film that I'm imagining people are going to definitely feel a little bit intrigued at the very least to say, especially if you know nothing about Jujutsu Kaisen 0. This is going to be pretty notable to say the least. Small update for the former author of the Boruto manga, Ukyo Kodachi, and his involvement in the anime, and an update on World Trigger, or an unfortunate update at that. And yeah, people, those are the stories we have for today's episode. Without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done.
Okay, people, so first on the agenda, in case you missed it recently, there was a big announcement that My Hero Academia Season 6 was already in production, to nobody's surprise, to be honest with you. Like, it's the biggest manga over here in the West, and one of the biggest manga over there in Japan as well. The anime has been very successful, especially with Season 5. I'd imagine midway through, they already, well, not even midway through, to be honest with you. I'd imagine, like, the second the pencils dropped from Season 5, somebody came in and was like, pick those pencils back up. We're working on Season 6 ASAP. Like, I'd imagine it was non-stop and that they just continued on. However, we got a trailer recently, a little preview of Season 6. And for the most part, from my understanding, it was actually of clips from Season 5. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I have not finished Season 5 as of right now. Actually, last night I started getting back into trying to wrap things up. I think I left off on Sad Man Parade, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm there. Y'all already know my feelings on Season 5. I was disappointed, but according to what people are telling me is that Season 6's preview, so to speak, is comprised of mostly clips from Season 5, which is just to get people excited. From what I saw, it's like Shigaraki and Deku, and it's kind of hyping like, yo, they're gonna come to blows. And I'll be honest with you, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If Studio Bones handles this right and doesn't do no BS and don't worry about and prioritize a film over this arc, that could be one of the biggest arcs. Like right now, especially the way they did it with the trailer and stuff, this preview, right now, this could could very well be the quote-unquote Marine Forward arc that My Hero Academia, I'm sure, would love. And what I mean by the Marine Forward arc, One Piece Marine Forward arc put that series beyond on the map. Like, One Piece was already massively popular. It wasn't until after Marine Forward that One Piece went from, like, you know, oh, it's doing, let's just say, you know, 5 million in sales a year to it did 40 million in 1 year. Like, that very well could happen if this arc is done right. So I'm hoping, even if it's just for this season, man, put the freaking movie schedule down. Don't do a film. Get everybody involved. Get the most talented staff you possibly can that maybe you would have relegated to doing a film or something like that. Bring them in, especially if you're hyping it up with this trailer. Like, yo, things is gonna go down. Shigaraki, Deku, and stuff like that. Like, this could be immensely popular. This could be huge. This could turn My Hero Academia from, I believe it's like 50 something million sales over there in Japan. This could turn it from 50 to 100. Like, straight up. If they do it right, get it out there, get people excited or whatnot, this could be very, very big. Again, the trailer looks kind of cool. I'm hoping that they're not going to, you know, botch this one, because they botched season 5 immensely. There's no reason this shouldn't be the most popular season, the most hyped season. And if this season is done correctly, there's no reason My Hero Academia shouldn't shoot up past a lot of its contemporaries that recently have started to surpass it, such as Jujutsu Kaisen. There's no reason My Hero Academia shouldn't supersede everything yet again. But we gotta wait and see. Either way, just a small little preview, I guess you would say, for My Hero Academia Season 6 to get people hype, and so that people be like, oh, we've got more hypeness to come for people that already loved what Season 5 was. But that's not me. I'm not those people. Okay, people, next up, just a small update for the One Piece anime. Y'all know recently I've been very, very hype about the One Piece anime. Well, Toei recently released a visual. It says One Piece's TV anime 1000 episode commemorative key visual, and it's of Luffy charging with a hockey-filled arm against Kaido, and it looks really, really good. Just the visual alone, and everything that One Piece's Wano anime has been thus far has me with no doubts that they're going to show out. Like, if they're hyping up this episode, it's, don't get me wrong, a lot of it is because, hey, it's the 1000th episode. That's an immense milestone that most series don't ever get to see. Like, how many series have reached 1000 episodes minus, like, Detective Conan, Case Closed, and Saze-san, and, you know, those type of anime that, for the most part, nobody really watches like that. Well, I love Conan, but, you know, most series don't get to reach that one, so that's probably why they're hyping it up. But I'm betting everything that 1000 is going to be one of the best looking episodes of One Piece, one of the best looking episodes of Wano, which is already a really good looking arc. They've done a lot of great work, and this visual looks dope. I mean, it definitely spoils what's going to be happening in that episode, because you got Luffy charging against Kaido, but wouldn't you want to see that? And wow, I want to say, holy cow, I wonder if they're going to do that. Like, are they going to actually adapt some of the stuff that happened in chapter 1000 with episode 1000? Like, that would be crazy. Also, it would put them in a weird position, because, like, right now they're already, as it is, very close with the manga. Like, they're not that far removed. And where are we at? We're on chapter 1026, I want to say. So we're only like 26 chapters removed. Like, if there was to get to, by that point, which we're episode 993, you figure about a month and some change, a month and a half more or less, that still wouldn't put enough. That would put us at max, like, you know, 1030 in manga chapters. Like, that would be very, very close to where we're at, unless they're gonna skip ahead just for this episode. So I'm not sure what they're planning on doing to make episode 1000 like really a big thing, other than Luffy versus Kaido, and it looks really good. This key visual looks really, really good. Hopefully they pull out all the stops, because you only get that chance once to make an impact for episode 1000. And either way, just shout outs to One Piece yet again. Like, this has been a phenomenal year, and the last couple of years have been phenomenal for One Piece as a whole. Okay, people, it's time for the weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. I always love this time when it comes to doing the weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. Like, we don't got jump comments for this episode in particular, but when it comes to the weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, these are like authors that we don't get to cover extensively here on the channel. So at the very least, it's nice to tap in with what they got going on, what they're thinking, etc., etc. So let's start off with Hiro Mashima, creator of Fairy Fairy Tail / Eden Zero. He said, big thanks to those who watched the online signing. Let's do it again sometime. Yeah, recently he announced that he was going to be like signing autographs and all sorts of stuff on an online thing. So shout outs to Hiro Mashima, always with the fans in mind. Then we got Atsushi Okubo, author of Soul Eater and now Fire Force. I wanted to go to the Berserk exhibition, but it fell on the day I was to get my second vaccination. If only I had gotten the shot sooner. Sadness. Fam. Ooh, that's a tough one about, talking vax when you're wanting to go to the Berserk exhibition. And I mean, I'd imagine that probably you had to be vaxxed to go to the Berserk exhibition. I'm not sure on that one, but oh my god, I know Atsushi Okubo was probably very, very hurt on that one. I would be very hurt on that one. Like, come on, fam, Berserk. Oh. Shout out to Atsushi Okubo, though. That tells you something, that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He got a little bit of good taste, you know what I mean? Then let's take a look at Yusuke Nomura, author of Blue Lock, which Blue Lock recently has been taking off. They said, Kyo's Undertale livestream was amazing. I was at the edge of my seat. I didn't know Undertale was still a thing. Like, I remember a few years back, Undertale was like massively big and people were making Undertale videos. I didn't know that actually still was like relevant and popular. Then Ken Wakui, author of Tokyo Revengers. In case you haven't been watching the channel, I'm on a very big high when it comes to Tokyo Revengers. Ken Wakui said, I want a plush doll of Emma. Now, I want a plush doll of every member of Tomon. Like, give me, well, no, that'd be a lot. Whoa, I ain't gonna have like the whole room. You just see me in the middle with like everything is just Tomon gang members around me. But like, I wouldn't mind like a Draken one, a Mikey one. Do I want Takamichi? Ooh, let me get a Kisaki one. I'm just gonna stomp that every morning. Like, if I have any type of aggression or something, or before I go to bed, just to get out any aggression, just stomp the crap out of that plushie. Like, yeah, give me a Kisaki plushie. Then we got Nakaba Suzuki, author of The Seven Deadly Sins and now Four Nights of the Apocalypse. These breezy, more refreshing days are great and all, but it's just a reminder that it's going to get cold soon. Yeah, unfortunately, because I love me the summer, or I love really like in between, like summer be really, really hot, winter be really, really cold. I like, fall where we're at right now, or even probably spring, somewhere around there. Like, that's the type of weather I like. So yeah, it is a reminder that in a few months we'll be with our, snow boots and stuff. No, I gotta get me some new Timbs. It's been a minute. And yeah, people, those were the weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. I felt like we went through them really quick, and there was no George Morikawa, Hajime no Ippo in this issue as well, which I want to say he's probably on some Eiichiro Oda stuff when it comes to the magazine, because I noticed he's absent. Not often, but often enough to say like how they do with Oda, they give him a break every, like, what is it, 6 issues or 7 issues or something like that. That's probably the case with George Morikawa. Next up, let's look at some manga sales. For starters, let's look at the weekly Shonen Jump volumes. We talked about that, recently. The only one that was really charting after the second week was One Piece, because Witch Watch, Sakamoto Days, High School Family, and Build King and ITLC, none of them ranked this week either. And One Piece in this week did 84,482 copies. And then the other volumes, we got Sakamoto Days and its third week did 7,400 copies, bringing it to 41,000. That's okay. That's not too bad at all. Witch Watch has sold another 5,000, bringing it to 38,000 copies, 3,000 behind Sakamoto Days. I don't want Sakamoto Days to be in competition with Witch Watch. I want Sakamoto Days to be at like 80,000 by now in its third week. You know what I'm saying? Let's up those Sakamoto Days sales. And then Build King, High School Family, and ITLC have not ranked as how low. Well, all of them I want to say except High School Family. Like, Build King is out of here, and ITLC, if I'm not mistaken, is out of here as well. It's just High School Family, which I wouldn't be surprised if they axe that soon. Like, it doesn't sell good at all. Those are the weekly Shonen Jump volumes that were released. But then the top 50, okay, so 50 through 41, it got a bunch of stuff that I'm really not too familiar. Oh, look back. Okay, at number 45, the one-shot volume from the author of Chainsaw Man with 24,000 this week, bringing its total to 178,000 in 17 days. Not bad at all for some a one-shot. Literally one chapter of a manga, it did 178,000 in 17 days. That is fantastic. That is honestly fantastic for an author that, to my knowledge, I don't think Tatsuki Fujimoto has ever had an anime to begin with, and he's that notable and respected as an author that almost 180,000 people in a couple of weeks already picked up volumes of his one chapter release. Like, insane. Then 40 through 31, Hajime no Ippo dropped a new volume in 3 days, 35,000. That's crazy because that's volume 132. Like, you know you're onto something when you're doing stuff like that. Then Four Nights of the Apocalypse volume 4 did 37,000, which that's not that bad. 40,000 in 3 days. There's a lot of series I cannot say the same. Then moving up a bit, we got Tokyo Revengers wrapping up 33 through 31. Then moving forward, we got 30 through 21, and 90-something% of this is all Tokyo Revengers. Only 29 is Hana no Kun Tokoi no Yamai. Volume 9 did almost 50,000, 49.2. So there's that, but yeah, Tokyo Revengers still dominating. It looks like, holy cow, each volume did about like 50,000 again this weekend. We're going to talk about something in a minute in terms of Tokyo Revengers. Y'all already know it's blowing shit up. 20 to 11, yet again, Tokyo Revengers. Okay. I'm seeing what happened here because there's like each of them did about 52,000 again. A couple of cuckoos came in at number 17 with 52,000. That's getting an anime soon. But Tokyo Revengers, I forgot, the anime just ended this past week, so a bunch more people ran out and grabbed Tokyo Revengers volumes because, like, yeah, they're doing even better than they've done in the last few weeks. And then the top 10. Number 10, Tokyo Revengers. Number 9, Shumatsu no Valkyrie, aka Record of Ragnarok, with 67,000 in 2 days. Not bad. Kaiju number 8 still hanging in the top 10 at number 8 with 69,000 this week, bringing it to 585. JoJolion, the latest volume from the JoJo series, with 74,000 in 3 days. Love to see it. Araki, get all the sales. You deserve it, damn it. Then moving up, number 4, One Piece Volume 100. Like we said, 84,000, bringing it to 1.6. Golden Kamuy, okay, 92,000, still going strong, 3 days. And then number 1, yeah, this is a massive jump. It was not doing this a year ago. 435,666. Demonic, man, demonic. Tokyo Revengers, the latest volume, volume 24, debut in 3 days. It did almost 500,000 copies. Wow, like, this is definitely, and again, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, I'll say that, but this is definitely making Tokyo Revengers. It could be, I don't know about number 1, because Demon Slayer, it racked up a lot of sales, so I'm imagining maybe Demon Slayer is still above everything else, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tokyo Revengers takes number 2. Like, it's still going. Like, there's still volumes that are going to be released, because the manga is still ongoing. It's on its final arc, and it's ending soon, but I don't know how long that's going to last, and either way, big shouts to Tokyo Revengers. And this top 50 was a nice, interesting list, from JoJo's to Kaiju number 8, Look Back, Record of Ragnarok, and of course, Tokyo Revengers, killing it. Crazy top 50 sales. And since we're talking about Tokyo Revengers, we got a bunch more news to talk about regarding the series. Because for starters, this one right here, I have my theories, but let's read. It says, and this is courtesy of Manga Mogura Re. They do some great work over on Twitter. It says, Tokyo Revengers by Ken Wakui will reveal new info regarding some kind of adaptation movie/series in Weekly Shonen Magazine issue number 45 of 2021. That'll be out October 6, 2021. Wow. I'm imagining right now, I'll be honest with you, my theory is, it's one of two things. If it's some sort of adaptation, it's either that they're going to confirm, yo, we're already working on season 2, or they're going to pull what a lot of studios are pulling, which I wouldn't be mad at it at all, and they're going to announce, like, maybe they're going to do some sort of movie adaptation for the next one, or something maybe like a original story that happened in between all of the madness of Tokyo Revengers. I would be all for a Tokyo Revengers film. Please put my behind in a theater and put Tokyo Revengers on the big screen. It deserves it. It'll give it that high quality art and animation that a lot of people have been thirsting for and wanting with the series, and it would make sense. Like, if it's doing almost 500,000 copies in 3 days with the latest volume, that would make sense. Yeah, make a film. You're gonna get a lot of sales. Like, Demon Slayer has opened up a whole new avenue that really wasn't all that big of, you know, it wasn't utilized anyway at the very least, of making films out of arcs and stuff like that. You could do it. I'm not sure how the next arc would work, especially like it ended off in a cliffhanger, so I don't know how that would work. It could be, again, just an original story, which I'd be fine with too, or maybe it could be a flashback story. That would be something interesting as well, like Jujutsu Kaisen is doing that with Jujutsu Kaisen 0, so we could get that as well. But I'm gonna bet either movie, or they're just gonna announce like, yo, season 2, we're already working on it, expect it next year, which Tokyo Revengers isn't something like a Demon Slayer from Ufotable, where the art and animation is so intricate that you need like a year and a half of prep work just to get it going. Like, Tokyo Revengers, I'd imagine on a year's worth of prep, it could get things done. That's just me, and I know that's not necessarily what we would ideally like. We would like a lot of prep time so we get a beautiful series, but if they're already talking about an announcement October 6th, it could be a film, them. Season 2, you let me know which one you think it's going to be. I'm fine with either one of them. There better be a season 2 with all them sales and shit. You know you want a season 2 or a movie. It'd be cool too. And lastly, in Tokyo Revengers news, Tokyo Revengers has 40 million copies in circulation, which I want to say I read somewhere that Tokyo Revengers is now 8 times more volume sold since the anime debut. So it probably had 5 million, right? That would be 5 times 8 would be 40 million. I hope I'm doing that right. I hope the math is right. But either way, so that would mean that we're 35 million copies in this year. With 35 million copies, I wonder where that stacks up compared to the other series that, you know, have sold and are going to be in the top 5, like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. But that gotta easily plant Tokyo Revengers top 3, hands down. I'm dying to see what the hell, like, who sold the most. Like, it's just a fun thing. It's not to put other series down, because I love all of these series. So yeah, I'm just really excited. Like, imagine Tokyo Revengers ends up taking it, because it's not slowing down right now. It ain't taking nothing, because Demon Slayer is right around the corner. Oh, be scared, Demon Slayers. It is returning. But yeah, even a number 2 would be insane for a series that, you know, it kind of was not necessarily dead in the water, but very underrated, underappreciated. And now, even though you could argue it's getting overhated with that, it's mid. Still, 40 million copies, fam. Let's go, baby. Tokyo Revengers. In case you missed it, I made a whole big video talking about it. Go watch it. Okay, people, next up, we got 2 pieces of news regarding the Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action. Y'all know it's coming out in November. However, we got, first of all, an official poster for Netflix's live action Cowboy Bebop series. It's been released, and on it, you have the 3 MCs, but their backs are turned, and a lot of people felt a certain way about that. I'll be honest with you, I thought it looked dope. It looks cool. It's definitely giving a, we've got something to hide, lad. That's why we're doing this. But I think it looks really awesome. Faye looks great. The 3 of them, they look really, really dope in this poster. Then another piece of Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action news, because again, really cool poster, all of that jazz. We got the opening was revealed and released, and it was basically a straight up homage to the original. It was a almost scene by scene recreation. Some of the running, you could argue, maybe was a little bit iffy or whatnot, but as a whole, I can't hate on it. It looked really, really cool. Now, granted, it's just an opening that doesn't have any bearing on the show, and for all we know, they could decide to rename Spike and call him Greg. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know necessarily what the contents itself, but you cannot hate. Like, there's some stuff you got to give them credit. You really got to do, so that they know what they've done right and then what they've done wrong. And if the series is still wrong, then we're gonna say when it comes, it's wrong. But that opening looked really, really cool. Like, it was a straight up recreation homage to the original with the background music and the way it was done, and some of the scenes just look really cool. Again, some of it looked a little awkward, like the running scenes in particular. I was like, you can't really mirror that too well with like humans, because that's animation, but it still looked cool. I liked it, and I thought that they did a great job with the opening. Let's hope that the show is even half of how cool and how nice and how much faithful that feels to the anime, the contents of the show. Because again, the opening was raw. I like the opening. This poster, I like the poster. Everything around it is starting to look a lot better. You know, people was hating on the actress that plays Faye. Come on, stop that. Like, let's give it a chance. Let's try and be open-minded, considering they're showing little inklings that it's aight. It's aight. But we gotta wait and see. Either way, opening dope, poster dope. I'm looking a little bit more forward to this than I was. I ain't gonna lie. They're starting to not necessarily win me over, but they're headed in the direction. If winning me over was 6 miles west, I'm about like 10 steps headed towards 6 miles west. So shout outs to the Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action. I'm looking forward to it more. I'm not gonna say completely like, yeah, because then, you know, expectations and whatnot, because I'm still expecting it to be what I'm expecting it to be, but it's promising, to say the least. Okay, next up, Yashahime Princess Half Demon fans, aka fans of the Inuyasha spin-off sequel regarding the kids, or it's, you know, focusing in on the kids for the most part. Y'all know that recently I told y'all that a manga adaptation was on its way, and then there was a little bit of controversy because some people was criticizing the person that was in charge of the manga adaptation's art and saying like, you don't know how to do Rumiko Takahashi's art style, and then they came back with a piece of art that was like, no, look, I know know how to do Rumiko Takahashi and did like every famous character from like the 1970s on that Rumiko has drawn. So I felt like, it's kind of in good hands. And then now we got the debut color pages of the new Yashahime Princess Half Demon manga adaptation by Shina Takahashi, who did Zettai Kaden Children in the latest monthly Shonen Sunday S issue. And looking at it, I mean, for starters, you got a page right here of Inuyasha, Kagome, and Sesshomaru, and it looks really, really good and on point. It looks a lot like the Inuyasha anime. I'm just keeping it real. I was never into the manga for no particular reason, just I never got into it. And then even the characters of, because there's another color page, you got the 3 MCs of Yashahime, and they look eye too. They don't look as close to the anime as I would say Inuyasha and Sesshomaru do, but they look eye. I mean, I would argue they look a little bit older, a little bit slimmer, especially Moroha. Like, she looks like she's kind of older there, but the other two look cool. And in general, it's not that bad at all. It's like, it's not as close to the anime as probably you would like, but even then, there's another page that has Inuyasha, Sesshomaru, and the 3 girls, and it looks fine to me. I don't know why people were hating and complaining about that. Like, they look really cool. And then there was some art that was released, because apparently it's like a power hour that they're doing where you're getting Detective Conan one half an hour, and then the next half an hour is going to be Yashahime Princess Half Demon, and that looks great. I ain't gonna lie, like, that looks really dope. And I really gotta catch up to Yashahime to see, because a lot of people told me that the ending was really good. There was something that I was really grossed out about, so I dropped it, but I'm gonna try my way to trudge past it and see what the hoopla is all about, because yeah, it looks good, and season 2 starts in October, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, for people that were skeptical about the Yashahime manga, the art looks high. It looks like it's in good hands. It's not as off like from Naruto to Boruto, in my opinion. Like, remember the beginning of Boruto, how bad it looked? Like, it's not like that. By the way, Boruto picked up a lot. Now it looks just like Naruto. I just gotta say that to a certain degree anyway. But yeah, Yashahime Princess Half Demon manga, ready to go. Okay, next up, One Punch Man. Yusuke Murata did something really cool where he did some animation of One Punch Man, which he's been kind of teetering. I want to say I even reported on here that, months back, that he was working on animation, trying to figure things out about it. And now with this, it says, One Punch Man manga co-creator Yusuke Murata releases 2-minute animation of Saitama grabbing groceries. Legendary manga creator Yusuke Murata is no stranger to trying out new skills and instantly becoming a master. Sometimes this training and his own perfectionism caused One Punch Man chapters to be delayed on the Tonari no Young Jump website, leaving fans wanting more. To apologize to fans today for the latest chapter being delayed, Murata posted a 2-minute One Punch Man short on his Twitter account that he directed with animation from the manga creator, his team, and a few freelancers. It looked pretty freaking good. I mean, nothing insane or anything like that, but Murata just recently was like toying around with the idea of doing animation, and he's killing it. Kind of like how Saitama, like, he went from like, doing 50 push-ups or 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups to he's like the strongest and broken in, the One Punch Man world. And it looked cool, and it's just been really quiet for One Punch Man. I feel like it's almost too quiet to a certain degree, and I know a lot of it was the impact from season 1 to 2 and how people didn't really care for the art and animation dip from season 1 to 2. That probably was a little bit of the catalyst to this, but still, I think One Punch Man, like, something big needs to happen soon, whether it be the announcement for season 3 or something, because it's been a little bit quiet. I mean, this is cool and all. Shout outs to Yusuke Murata. It's really dope that he did this piece of animation, but I'm hoping for something big with One Punch Man. I'd hate to see the series like die out quietly when it was like in 2015, one of the most talked about anime of the year, massive everywhere, and then like after that it just kind of started to die down, and it didn't help that there was a 4-year gap in between seasons, and then that second season people were just very disappointed with, although I honestly liked it for the most part. Next up, fans of the Battery manga. According to this, it says Battery baseball manga by Asano Asko Uniwa Chikage will end in the upcoming monthly Asuka issue 1 out November 24th, 2021. I've heard some things about this. I don't know if it was sales or what it was, but I've heard about this Battery manga a few different times. I'm not the biggest sports fan, especially when it comes to like manga. Like anime, I'll watch the out of a sports anime. Like, give me Kuroko no Basket, Slam Dunk, give me, what I'm saying, Haikyuu or whatever. But manga, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's still a shame for fans that really like this manga that, yeah, it'll be ending top of next fiscal year. Okay, people, next up, this one was very, very big over the weekend. It kind of shocked all of us around the world when it was announced what's going on with Demon Slayer. Because for starters, I want to say the first announcement I saw is that Kimetsu no Yaiba TV anime season 2 will be airing on December 5th. And I said, what the heck? When I first saw that, I was like, December 5th? What do you mean December 5th? Wasn't we supposed to start in October? And then it started to dawn on me, and then more announcements came out that basically Demon Slayer was going to be doing as follows. Demon Slayer Season 2 starts in October 10th to be precise, with an original episode. Then episodes 2 through 7 are Mugen Train with new scenes and Elisa opening. And then episode 8 and 5th of December is the proper start of Season 2 with Aimer opening. So basically, I forgot the whole thing of that. They're going to readapt. They're going to milk, because that's what that is. They're going to milk the Mugen Train film that everybody already seen to start off the anime, which it's a smart business move because they just did recaps from the anime. They did recaps from the TV anime, and it did like 3 times the ratings as like One Piece and Detective Conan and stuff like that. So if you're doing that of the anime, the biggest film of all time in Japan is definitely going to do massive gangbusters. So yeah, they're basically going to be doing, which we're going to take a closer look into an article in a second, a recap that'll lead into December, starting off the real beginning of Season 2, and also an original episode. I hope, oh my god, I hope that Koyohara Go Toge is a part of that original episode. Like, if it's not, then it's gonna be kind of like, you know how Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, one of the only blemishes about that is that the first episode is filler, essentially. It was basically to differentiate it from the original Full Metal Alchemist. That's pretty much what that episode will be, unless they say, yo, Koyohara Go Toge actually wrote the script for it. But just taking a closer look, here it says, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc are coming to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is extremely happy to announce that we will be airing both sequel arcs to the blockbuster 2019 anime Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, an episodic adaptation of the sequel film Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc will begin airing on Sunday, October 10th, while Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc will begin airing on Sunday, December 5th. And they got like a new poster, which is basically just a remix of the Mugen Train. And it says Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc launch time, yada yada. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc will feature a re-edited 6 episodes with new background music, as well as never before seen episode 1 featuring Kyojiro Rengoku taking on a new mission on the way to the Mugen Train for a total of 7 episodes. Lisa returns to sing the opening theme Akeboshi and the ending theme Shirogane for the arc. And then it says Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc, again starting in December 5th, and that will feature Tanjiro and his comrades on a brand new mission within the Yoshiwara Entertainment District, where they face the demon Daki from the Upper Six, voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro. A new 1-hour special episode will begin this section of the story after the conclusion of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc. Aimer will perform the opening theme Zankyo Sanka and the ending theme Asaga Kuru, which basically, in case you don't know, those are the same, I want to say, bands from the original opening, if I'm not mistaken. Lisa, I know Lisa did Tsuyoku Nareru. I'm pretty sure that was Lisa. I'm not sure about Aimer. They probably worked on something related to the studio as well. And I'll say it honestly, I'm not looking forward to this remake of the Mugen Train. They are basically following a blueprint that a lot of people weren't too fond of when it comes to Dragon Ball Super. When Dragon Ball Super did the Battle of Gods film and Resurrection F, and then they did the Dragon Ball Super anime, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna redo those arcs or those movies into arcs, and then we'll get to the good stuff. That's basically exactly what's happening here. They're redoing the Mugen Train movie into an arc, and then in December the real season begins. So if you're not interested in the original episode, which I'm very skeptical and worried about that one, but if you're not interested in that, and you're not interested in a remake of the Mugen Train film, wait till December 5th to start watching Demon Slayer, the continuation with the Entertainment District arc, because I probably will do the same. I might just watch the original episode out of curiosity, the first episode that's going to be an original anime only, but then after that, I'm probably just going to wait till December, because what's the point? Like, I watched the Mugen Train, and I love the Mugen Train. I don't want to watch it spread out amongst episodes, which they could have done to begin with, but yeah, they're straight up milking it. There's no denying, there's no question. I know people are going to say, look, no, they're milking it. The movie was seen by everyone in Japan, damn near watched that film, okay? There's no reason to redo it for the anime other than money. Money, which it's a business. I don't fault them. Like, that's the smart thing to do. I'm not going to be going along with the program. I'm going to wait till December. Y'all have fun with that. Entertainment District arc, here we come in December. And it kind of sucks for people that have been waiting since 2019, like, but then again, you know, you've been waiting 2 years, you can wait a little bit more, I guess, right? Either way, that's the big talk of the town regarding Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 2. They slapped the crap out of the fans with this one, fam. Like, yo, you was hyped for this? Like, yeah, you ready for this? You gotta wait a little bit unless you want to rewatch Mugen Train. Which I'm wondering, it's saying like re-edited, so are they just taking the movie and chopping it up into bits and like adding extra new stuff to connect it as episodes, or how's that gonna work? Because I mean, you have one of the most gorgeous films out there, like just cut it up. Like, don't do what Dragon Ball Super did, which was honestly ridiculous. Of instead of just using the footage from the films and maybe adding extra stuff, they reanimated it from the ground up and it looked horrible for the most part. Like, it looked hideous. Like, don't do that. Just put all that manpower and everything into the Entertainment District stuff. Maybe add some extra stuff to connect it and make it feel a little seamless as an anime adaptation, as a TV anime. But yeah, it's gorgeous. Like, just cut it up. Even though they recently re-aired the Mugen Train film, expect the Mugen Train TV anime re-adaptation coming soon in October 10th, Sunday to be precise. Okay, people, next up is a story that maybe a lot of you aren't too familiar with this series, but I want to tell you why I'm really hype about it. So there was a series that I've seen, I never actually even finished it, and I still love it, and the only reason is because I had it on a hard drive. It was never actually like released on Crunchyroll or Funimation or anything like that to my knowledge, so I don't really have access to watch it. But there was an anime that was released like 10 years ago, I believe, called Rainbow Nisha something. Was a really long name, but it was basically about these dudes that are in jail, and I think they were like falsely in jail, and the warden used to abuse of them. It was really, really dark, but it was a really, really good story. And I always wondered, like, well, so who did the manga? Because it was based off of manga and yada yada yada, and we never really got it over here, which if it came out tomorrow, I would go and buy it on Blu-ray instantly because it was that damn good from what I saw. But according to this, it says Rainbow's Masasumi Kakizaki launches new manga in October. So the creator of this series that I really, really liked, he got a new manga coming. The October issue of Kodansha's monthly young magazine announced on Tuesday that Masasumi Kakizaki is launching a new manga titled Yomotsu Hegui, aka Partaking of the Underworld's Food, in the magazine's next issue on October 19th. The magazine teases the manga as centering on a man who has lost everything and meets a Shinigami and an eternal battle for life. Kakizaki most recently ended the manga adaptation of The Spy no Suma, The Spy's Wife, manga pictured at the right, live action TV movie on March 18th. The manga's second and final compiled book. Okay, so he was working on adapting some other stuff. It wasn't even his own manga. The manga's second and final compiled blah blah blah. Kakizaki launched the manga in Shogakukan Sunday GX magazine in August 2020. Okay, so there's really nothing else about that. But then it says George Abe and Kakizaki's Rainbow Nisha prison manga inspired a TV anime in 2010, and man, if it's even remotely close to that, which that synopsis don't sound bad. It kind of sounds like a little bit of a Death Note if like Light was down on his luck and didn't give a shit about nothing. Like, that's what that sounds like to me. I am on board. Anybody that ever seen Rainbow, or if you read Rainbow, that was so good. I don't even know why. I believe it was called Rainbow because it was like literally a rainbow or something. It wasn't anything like, you know, lighthearted to say the least. I'm looking forward to this. I hope this takes off because this author had some great work with Rainbow. And if you don't know, now you know. Shoutouts to the notorious one. Moving forward, Undead Unluck fans. According to this, it says Undead Unluck currently has 1.3 million copies in circulation, and I want to say that's among 7 volumes that have been released thus far. That's pretty good. It's not great. It's not outstanding, but 1.3 million, and it's been around for a decent amount of time. If it survives till next year, which I have no doubt in my mind that it will, that probably means that it's going to get an anime. And if it got 1.3 million in sales, which again, that's not the most outrageous. Like, I want to say around that time that Jujutsu Kaisen had 7 volumes. You know, it's one of the highest selling series in Jump running right now. That had about, what, 4 million, I think, or 8 million or something. And then they were like, we want to get to 10 before the series comes out with the anime. This will probably have maybe 2 to 3 by the time it gets an anime, if it lasts that long. Like, that's not bad. And from what I read with Undead Unluck, I'm like 20 chapters, I think, into it or something like that. I really liked it. I fell off of it because there's just so much to read and watch out there. I'll be honest with you. And it was good, but I need to get back into it because there was something about Andy that was like, yo, this dude is kind of raw. I like what I saw. I need to get back into it. But shout outs to Undead Unluck, 1.3 million. it'll probably double by the time the anime comes out, I'm imagining. Okay, people, next up, Sword Art Online fans. Apparently a new manga is coming out that might be of interest to you. According to this, it says Sword Art Online by Reki Kawahara Abek will get a new manga adaptation, which also covers novel parts never animated. Illustrations by Kimi, unspecified what will be adapted. I'm imagining probably they're going to go back to Aincrad, and this is going to be in promotion or cross promo of the progressive anime movie that's coming out right now. That's what I'm guessing, and the designs look like Aincrad stuff too. So basically it's like going to cover the things that never got animated and never will at this point, or maybe they'll redo Aincrad at some given point, which at this point, if you're doing the progressive film too, like, just leave Aincrad alone for a long time. Like, maybe one day down the distant future you want to redo all this, fine, but leave Aincrad alone already. Like, now it's getting to be overkill. Like, Aincrad had a, you know, an anime adaptation, it's getting a film now, and then now you want to add on top of that a manga adaptation. Like, I'm good on Aincrad. Again, assuming that that's what they're going to be doing. But I want to say that that's still, to this day, one of the most popular editions of the Sword Art Online series. Maybe I'm off on that, but I want to say, like, the very beginning. Because the very beginning of Sword Art Online got a lot of people into actual anime. Like, a lot of gamers and stuff like that actually got into anime because of Sword Art Online. That got them in. So, yeah, that's probably still, to this day, the most impactful and important one. And that's probably why they decided to do that progressive film. And why they're doing this, you know, manga now. But we gotta wait and see. Either way, it'll start in the upcoming Dengeki Daio issue 12 2021, out October 27th. So if you're into SAO manga, which I'll be honest with you, I'll never get into a Sword Art Online manga. Like, I know they say never. I'm never getting into that. I'll stick to the anime, which I've been thinking, like, you know, I got so many episodes of Sword Art Online and stuff to watch. One day I'm going to just have a massive binge and go crazy, because I haven't watched anything since season 2. Like, I wrapped up season 2 and never looked back. Eventually I will, and it's going to be a fun ride. But either way, shout outs to people that are looking forward to it. Sword Art Online, new manga covering stuff that was never animated. Again, I want to say Aincrad, but that has not been confirmed. Okay, people, next up, Jujutsu Kaisen fans. Big deal here. According to this, it says Jujutsu Kaisen has 55 million copies in circulation. The 17th volume, releasing October 4th of 2021, will have a first print of 2.15, so 2,150,000 copies. So immediately add that in, that there's going to be another 2 million in circulation, which it's gonna go through those, I ain't gonna lie. At this point, Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm wondering, and this is what I was talking about if you watched my earlier segment about Tokyo Revengers, I'm wondering who's gonna be number 2. I'm almost certain that the highest selling manga of this year as well is still gonna be Demon Slayer. Maybe I'm off on that, but especially with the anime returning right around this time, and the Mugen Train has been pushing the series, like, I'm pretty sure Demon Slayer is gonna be number 1. It's just a matter of who's going to be number 2 and 3. And Jujutsu Kaisen had a very big start of the year. Tokyo Revengers has had a very big second half of the year. So that's going to be an interesting battle, because this got 55 million in circulation. Tokyo Revengers just announced it had 40 million. That 15 million, depending on when it happened, like, immediately 5 of those million, like, can't count because they've been in Tokyo Revengers. Like, Tokyo Revengers started the year, I think, with like 5 million. So at least 5 million of those sales of Tokyo Revengers can't be counted. So basically we're looking at 35 million, potentially 35 million copies versus however much Jujutsu Kaisen sold in the last year. That counts towards, you know, this race. It's going to be a tough one. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is going to edge out Tokyo Revengers slightly, but not by much. And if it is by much, it's still an amazing race, because 35 million to however many Jujutsu Kaisen sold this year, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, 55 million copies and 2 million more on the horizon with the first print. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen, it's that time, baby. It's that time. And while we're on the topic of Jujutsu Kaisen, this is Satoru Gojo's character design from the upcoming Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie. And a lot of people are probably going to be a little bit like, well, why does he have bandages on? Well, if you read the original Jujutsu Kaisen 0 manga, which wasn't it called like the Tokyo District something parallel? I forget what the original name was, but he looked a little bit different in that manga. He had bandages instead of like a blindfold and whatnot, and they seem to be like trying to do a crossbreed between that and his new design, which I'm all here for it, fam. I'm all here for it, and he looks really dope. Can't wait for this film, I ain't gonna lie. I can't wait for it. We gotta wait for it, because even though it comes out in December, we're not gonna get it over here in the States until probably February. I'm guessing February or March, which, ooh, man, it would be dope if it came out right around my birthday time, March. Hopefully. Pisces season, let's go. Where's Sanji at now? I ain't gonna lie, this design, it looks nice. It looks nice. It makes you wonder, why does he have the bandages on? Where's the blindfold? What's going on here? So, yeah, either way, I'm glad that they're keeping true to that design, because they could have easily just got rid of the bandages and said, no, he got a blindfold. Like, yeah, that's it. And either way, can't freaking wait for this film. Still gotta wait a while. Okay, people, so as of the recent episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generation's episode 217, the original creator, which that means that probably they were only crediting him because these are the chapters that he had worked on, Ukyo Kodachi, he was the one that was doing the manga up until the content that happened now. According to this, it says with episode 217, Ukyo Kodachi is no longer credited as the story supervisor, so he's completely done. That he has nothing to do with the Boruto anime or manga at this point. And I will say it to the death of me that we didn't appreciate Ukyo Kodachi when he was here. If you've been following the manga, you know, because there's been about 10 chapters, I want to say, since the end of what Ukyo Kodachi did and when Kishimoto took over, and it hasn't felt the same. For better or worse, it just hasn't felt the same. And I feel like he did incredible work in Boruto. A lot of people like to say, like, you know, Kishimoto's a better writer, and that's true, but ultimately Boruto wouldn't have gotten to this point in terms of, for the people that do love it and appreciate everything that was done, especially like the content that was just adapted for episode 217, it wouldn't have gotten to that point if it wasn't for Ukyo Kodachi. So definitely put respect on Ukyo Kodachi's name. Such a shame that now he's completely done, not on the anime, on the manga, no longer credited. But again, that also makes me believe that he was only being credited with the anime because he had worked up until that point on those chapters, so they had to throw in a credit somewhere. And I wish him the best, man. I hope he does his own manga at some given point, because he did some great stuff. Shoutouts to Ukyo Kodachi, and yeah, no longer credited on the Boruto anime moving forward. And lastly for this episode, World Trigger will be taking a break. It seems as though the author has recently fell ill again. Let's read. World Trigger manga takes 1 month break due to author's health. The official Twitter account for Shueisha's Jump Square magazine revealed on Monday that Daisuke Ashihara's World Trigger manga will not appear in the magazine's November issue on October 4th due to the author's sudden illness. The Twitter account posted a letter from Ashihara where he stated that his head/neck specifically is what is in poor health right now. The manga will still appear on the cover of the November issue, and the manga is planned to resume in the December issue, which will ship in early November. And the manga also took breaks in the months of March and May this year. So yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, this author, it's been a long time now of me constantly hearing that he's in poor health. I mean, for crying out loud, the series started off in Weekly Shonen Jump and had to be moved to Jump Square and, you know, all of this stuff because of the author. I believe he had broke his wrist, I want to say, and then now he's having neck and head pains and stuff. Like, it might be one of those cases where this author needs to take I don't want to say Yoshihiro Togashi size break, but something in that ballpark so that he can really rest up and get better, because he has had health issue after health issue all these years, and it's unfair to him, his physical, his mental, and everything that he's going through. You could say the fans or whatever, and yeah, the fans definitely have a point of like, yo, we want our manga, but man, his health comes before any of that shit, okay? Like, if he needs to just end World Trigger, then he should end it. Like, this man, I've been hearing nothing but health issues from this man for years. For literally, I want to say 6 to 7 years. That's all I've heard about this author. He probably should put it down or take a long hiatus from it, because his life is worth more than the manga and worth more than the fans. I'm sorry. And yeah, people, those are all the stories we have for today's episode. I'm curious what you guys think. My Hero Academia Season 6 preview, One Piece 1000 episode visual, the Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, the top 50 manga sales, Tokyo Revengers big adaptation coming, the announcement, Tokyo Revengers 40 million sales, Cowboy Bebop Netflix poster and opening, Yashahime colored pages for the manga, One Punch Man co-creator doing animation of One Punch Man, the Battery manga ending, Demon Slayer, all of the delays, and insanity surrounding it, Rainbow Author returning, Undead Unluck sales, new Sword Art Online manga, Jujutsu Kaisen total manga sales, Gojo and Jujutsu Kaisen 0 his design, Ukyo Kodachi no longer being credited with the Boruto anime, the World Trigger author being absent in the upcoming issue due to health issues, and your thoughts on any of the stories we covered in today's episode. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and you guys just watched another episode of ForneverNews. Have an awesome day.
So just go to